Dr. Death Season 2 Episode 4 begins with Paolo and Benita discussing the wedding, despite her doubts over the whole thing after what she learned in the previous episode. Stockholm 2013, Anders was close to reporting his study on the rat trials as inconclusive, but after the strange press conference where former patient Miriam is paraded around as a success story, he holds off. Turns out, Miriam is trying to hide his struggles with his breathing. Meanwhile, research is apparently stagnating, but Paolo argues the opposite and suggests Russian contacts he has could take part in additional research. Anders digs deeper into Paolo's research. The private investigator Benita hired has uncovered information on Paolo that reveals he had previously been arrested for medical malpractice. She calls up her wedding venue and honeymoon hotel and is shocked to learn that Paolo lied about booking their nuptials. Turns out, he never had any successful animal studies. Paolo is experimenting on people. His first human patient, Miriam, has returned for a checkup, and he's not doing too well at all. Nate challenges Paolo's reputation and accuses him of personal rivalry and even jealousy because he tried to challenge Chris Lyle's cause of death. Paolo is about to perform his trial on a young Turkish woman called Yesem, who arrives for a consultation. She's been to 12 countries but never to Sweden. Her trachea was injured during an operation. They tried to fix it, but something went wrong, and Paolo was recommended to her. New York 2013, Benita comes home to discover rose petals everywhere, but Paolo is nowhere to be seen. She follows the trail and a note is left for her saying, "The pieces of my heart, you are mine." He then creeps up on her by grabbing her. Paolo has made a meal for them on the balcony and insists, "Let's get married right here." However, Benita confronts Paolo about her investigations into him, but he tries to convince her that he's some sort of super doctor/spy carrying out assignments for governments and heads of state. Benita has had enough of Paolo's lies and asks him to leave. The episode ends with the Stockholm timeline and Nate and Anders doing some research into Paolo. They are stunned to find out that all of Macchiarini's research is based on lies. They come to the chilling conclusion that the patients themselves are the trials. The episode review. The revelations come thick and fast at the halfway point of this season, and things are really starting to shape up for a dramatic second half, with lots of questions starting to arise over Paolo Macchiarini's so-called research and trials. Edgar Ramirez is so charming that it's really hard to turn on him, despite his crazy behavior. The Stockholm timeline is the more riveting one in this episode, and it'll be interesting to see where the show goes with this and how it will set up the future timeline.